aha Igbo ndị ọma nji ekene Igbo ndị ọma nji eme ọnụ Igbo ndị ọma na-emela anyị ife tata anyị weta anyị sị ka anyị weta elu na news maka na Peter Obi okwute eze ndị Igbo isi kara aka na ibu ogwu apụtago wee kwuo okwu wee na-asị na anyị ese ndị avam na court na ọdọcha ha na nke a ekweta na ọ na-eme ịghọtago maka mma achọkwa unu nene vidiyo n'ilu ya n'isi maka na vidiyo anụnwa bụ ụdị nke ha na-akpụ ya vidiyo nwụna bụ ihe a vidiyo a nenecha obi sie gị ike maka ama m na kemgbe enyere nwoke bụrụm ihe dị ya anụnwa onweghị onye obi dị mma onye ọbụla ji ọgọnọzi aka asị na onye mmadụ nwụrụ ahụ maka onye ọbụla na-eri uju na-asị ụfọdụ na-ajụ Chukwu ajụ sị Chukwu na ọgịnị ka anyị mee wee keta ụdị nda mmadụ dakpọ anyị n'elu mmadụ gbebulu mmadụ dakpọ anyị n'elu ka anyị jide mana alaikịta m ihe Peter Obi kwu onwe ihe oyibo ọsọ si if you want to be called his excellency you must get into the power the excellent way. So na the video ka unu fụ ebe Peter Obi kwuru okwu maka kemgbe o lụsịrị election na kwuru okwu wee okwu a na-akasi obi mmeite onye ọbụla mana ihe emere na election na obi adịghị mma ya biko jide onwe ya aka maka mụ kemgbe na-enecha anya vidio ejide m obi m aka jidesie ike biko na vidio ka unu jide onwe unu aka.
Again, my dear people, let me again correct one impression because I've seen some people saying in the media that I released one news or the other. I have never, directly or indirectly, spoken or released any message since after voting on the 25th. My last comment in the media was immediately after voting on the 25th, and I've never done so until now. So whatever you see in the media, please disregard. It's not coming from me, directly or indirectly. This is my first time of speaking, coming out to the media, and I thank all of you for your understanding. For me, it's a very simple thing is to speak to Nigerians who on the 25th of February trooped out en masse as committed citizens to participate in what all of us know as what I call existential election for supposedly free, fair, credible presidential and national assembly election. We enjoy, and in all things we give thanks to God. For me, number one thing is gratitude. Gratitude to God Almighty that continue to protect and bless our dear country, Nigeria. Number two is gratitude to Nigerians that participated in the election, answering the call as true citizens in our dear country. Number three is gratitude to those of Nigerians, especially the youth, that believed and worked tirelessly for a new Nigeria and trusting that new Nigeria on that team and my good self. I thank them for their hard work, gratitude to the obedient youths, those who believe that a new Nigeria is possible. And I say to them that a new Nigeria is possible. And we will work for that new Nigeria that is possible. Their resilience, their hard work for a new Nigeria should not be waived. Daddy and I remain committed to that new Nigeria. I know how they'll be feeling now because of the way the elections have come and gone. The commitment and resilience of Nigerians, even in face of unwarranted rhetoric attacks, is a testimony that a new Nigeria is indeed possible. I look at people like Lady Jennifer Ifedi, who was stabbed but insisted on voting. And that gives me courage to believe that a new Nigeria is indeed possible. And there's so many other Nigerians. The election that we just witnessed have been conducted and results announced as programmed. It is a clear version from electoral rules and guidelines as we were promised. This election, as you know, did not meet the minimum standard expected of a free, transparent, credible, fair election. It will go down as one of the most controversial elections ever conducted in Nigeria. The good and hardworking people of Nigeria have again been robbed by our supposed leaders whom they trusted. However, let me humbly and most respectfully appeal to all Nigerians to remain peaceful, law-abiding, and conduct themselves in most responsible manner. Please be assured that Dati and I, and indeed all of us, this is not the end, but the beginning of the journey for a birth of new Nigeria. Dati Baba Ahmed and I remain absolutely undaunted and deeply committed to the project of a new Nigeria that will be built on honesty, transparency, fairness, justice, equity. All the above starts with the process. The process through which people come into office is far more fundamental, more important than what they do thereafter. It is my belief, and I've maintained so consistently, that if you must answer His Excellency, the process through which you arrive to office must be excellent. We must now require that we do the right things in order to generate the required confidence and moral authority to lead. As you know, the destruction of a society begins and gradually progress when we act rascally, with deliberate manipulation of the rule of law and suppression of the will of the people. During my campaign posts, I said that we will govern by the rule of law, because we know what not doing that will bring about. And that's why we say that. let me reiterate, and I assure you that good people of Nigeria, that we will explore all legal and peaceful options to reclaim our mandate. We won the election, and we will prove it to Nigerians. Please do not despair. We have elections coming up on the 11th. I enjoy you to go out, campaign, and bring up people to again come out and vote in that election. We still have so many massive support out there that we need for our subnational and state assemblies. Please come out and be part of that election. I assure you that I will be part of it. I assure you that I am totally committed for a better future in this country. And nothing will stop that. That is commitment. My commitment is total. Be rest assured that your support will not be in vain. And you will not find us wanting. We must build a better Nigeria, where Nigerian youths will be happy, glad to call their own country. Thank you, and may God Almighty continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And thank you very much. Colleagues, if you don't take anything home in what we've just heard, he said, we won the election and we will prove it to the world. We will reclaim that mandate. Another round of applause for him. Okay, so we'll take a few questions from...
We have passed the stage of that because we were asked to go to the court. Isn't that what it said? So let's go there. Remember that I'm obedient. I want to obey their rules. I'm going to go where I'm directed to go. So, and then you will see where and how. Or just to give you an emphasis, in 2015, the number of registered voters, if I can remember, is about, what was it again? About 67 million registered voters and 29.4 voted. In 2019, that tally increased to about 84 million. And about 28.4 million voted. And then we were told that about 11 million registered in 2022, if I'm correct, which brought the registration to about 95, but 87 collected their PVC because of the issue of not being able to collect their PVC. But only 23.3 million voted. You can see how Nigeria works. So we have an increase of 11 million. And the voters dropped sharply by over 20% instead of increasing. The reason it was due to manipulation and reduction and removal and inputs of votes here and there. Because otherwise the number is supposed to have increased. It didn't increase because people were busy doing what is wrong. And we have chosen, I will challenge this rascality for the future of the country. Nigeria cannot conduct election 63 years after independence. It's something everybody should reflect on. Unexamined life is not worth living. And we can't go on like this. Shehu, you asked about the alliance. We are not in alliance. We are discussing an partnership with other people and any other Nigerian who feels hot as we do. I've said it and I repeat. I have all my life challenged the process. I believe that the process through which people get anywhere is respected. As a person, I've had a school award me a professor, and I can go and see my reply to them. I said, I can't be, because I have not gone through the process of being a professor. The process through which people come into any place is far more fundamental than what they do thereafter. We must not have people who have the moral authority because of the process who come into it. So if we use the process we use today, tell me how we can tell the train robber, the kidnapper, that is doing the wrong thing. Say we have not made calls to anybody. I'm not against making calls. Everybody that is involved in this, even the two main contenders, have always said, are my elder brothers. You know, the farmer is seniors. It should actually be my father, so I respect them. And I keep with that. And if they call me and want me to see them, I'll see them. But on this issue, I'm challenging the process.
Thank you, sir.
Well, let me again say it. We are not yet in court. That is why the court exists. And they've asked me to go to court. And I want to go to court. I don't want to answer questions on my way to court. I want to go to court.
Okay.
Not at all. I can tell you, nobody will ever put me under pressure when I challenge misconduct, rascality, or illegal process. Because it's not about, it's not about, you can't, how do you put the person who is doing kidnapping under pressure? We're challenging what is wrong. It is not about me, it's not about you, it's not about it's about the society our children will live in. And I want people to understand that. I'm challenging a process that is fault, a process that is wrong. It could be anybody. It is not about anything. So there's no pressure. Nobody has.
Okay.
And they know they will not.
Okay, the lady at the back here. Thank you very much. Now the real AIT, not former AIT.
Quite frankly, I'm not unless an invitation, I'm not engaging any international community or international body, because I feel this is a Nigerian problem. And this is time we have to start solving our problem. Elections have been conducted in all parts of Africa. And nobody have ever seen something near what we're going through here. So I'm not consulting anybody.
Okay.
Well, I'm still going to go around appealing to the youth. This is a long distance journey. And you have to know, I'm committed to going through this journey with them. It's not going to be a one-day journey. No matter how long the night is, they will be there. And I want to show them that I will be there. We have to go through darkness. I'm going to go through this darkness with them because I know we're not going to ask these people to live easily. That's why they're there. That's why they have structure. That structure of criminality can't go away overnight. That structure of destruction can't go overnight. Structure that has created 133 million people living in multidimensional poverty can't go out overnight. Structure that has created 95 million people living under absolute poverty can't go out overnight. Structure that have created over 20 million out of school children can't go out overnight. All we need to show is commitment, resilience, like use all the resources we can, all our energy, everything. All I assure them that I'm not going away. I'll be at the forefront. We will walk through this darkness until day break. It's something. I know the court will do the right thing. Their children are involved. The future of their children are involved. I had an experience today, just today, that I told my chairman. To know what that young person does. So you see me every day talking to young people. So just this morning, I went somewhere with the chairman. And a young lady was to boil water for me to make tea. I said, I will do it. He said she will do it. She was excited to do it. She was worried. And she said to me, she was almost in tears that I lost the election. And I said, so what's your name? She said she's just called that name. I said, so who are you? She said she was from Nasarawa. So I said, where do you go to school? She said she went to University of Nasarawa. I said, so what do you do? She said she has no job. She graduated since 2018. I said, so what are you trying to do? She told me she's learned how to do baking. So why are you not baking instead of being here to do this? She said she doesn't have 75,000 naira to buy an oven.
Okay, so many people at the back there. So what I'm going to do is...
Of course, I get my inspiration taken from the young girl who doesn't have 75,000 naira to buy an oven. When people like me can sit down in a place and drink a bottle of wine that is costing that amount in the same country. When people like me have stolen billions of public money, I would have bought an oven for that young graduate. So that's where you get your inspiration. I said I want to build a new Nigeria, where those youths will have hope, where there will be a future for them. But I can't build it, Dixon, unless I do the right things, so that I can emulate how to do the right things. We cannot do it. We have to teach them how to do the right thing. Dixon, I have an opportunity to do what other people are doing. And you've seen it from my corporate world, where I chaired corporations, including Security and Exchange Commission, to my being governor of a state. I had an opportunity to do what other people are doing, but I didn't do it. Because we have to live and show an example. And use the resources of the country, public resources, for public good. And ask those who had the opportunity of doing the right thing for the country to do the right thing. If we have a security man, he should do his job. If we have somebody to conduct an election, I've been an observer of election in some of the West African countries. Texan, it wasn't anything near this. Is this what we spend billions to do? Hey, what a minute. We should have used that billions to do something else and announce what we announced. Because this young girl would have had an oven and then we'll do the announcement.
Man, na onye ọbụla nnecha vidiyo obi ya atụ ya amụ, onye ọbụla nnecha vidiyo obi ga-esi ya ike maka na Okwute eze ndị Igbo Peter Obi nwoke be anyị ọnya nwa ka anyị tụrụ nye nwa bụ onye win onweghị ihe akọtara ejighị ugegbe enyi ha agba n'aka ntago mana ndị afile na ha emego nke ha eme ihe a mgbe EndSARS ha ekweghị na ndị yut ya enwere onwe ha apụtakwa tụọ vootu ndị a na ya achọzi ebulu nwoke na-akwafu ọbara ka mmiri na-eli anụ mmadụ na-aṅụ ọbara tiile anyị ebe ahụ feel na no business as usual na in 1 month's time Nigerians will forget na asụghị ya na nke ahụ aga mana nna nwoke unu si ya bịa kọt ya nọ kọt na-eche unu don't worry ọ ya abịa mgbe ọ bịara agwakwu na Peter Obi is coming. Peter Obi bụ president elect not president select. He is president elect and not president select maka onye nke ọzọ select ile select buli ya impose ya ka law n'isi si anyị ngwa mụ na-achọ ha na abụrụ anyị achọghọ oge Tinubu ya na ala onwe ya achọghọ anyị achọghọ ntago enye efi m votu onye ọdị ndụ ka mmụọ nwoke aka na-ama jijiji mmadụ na ọ chọrọ ikwu okwu ejiri ya ebe a akwado ya n'azụ ọ bụrụ na ihe a ga-emegide na Naijiria anyị chọrọ ya bụ na-aga na-azụsi ike na abatagoro mitin wute ndị ọcha ama na onye ha na-eme ka abụghị illiterate mana nke a ya nọ na mitin 2 hours 3 hours oke dịbizi na-ekwu ụra alahụla onwe ya ọla ọhịa bịa mee ofu mgbe sọ dee cheki nye ndị ọcha si na ole na Naijiria nghọtago mana ọ bụghị ha aya dịka Igbo ekene mụ na onye ọbụla na-asọpọtụ Peter Obi jiri obi gị aka maka na ihe ya adịkwa mma ọzọ ịghọtago na aghọtago ka ọ dị mbọsị ọzọ